Good morning, everybody. Yesterday we have discussed about the political theory, its meaning, its definition, and other things like introduction part we have completed. What is political theory? We have completed. Then brief understanding of the political theory we have completed. What is theory? Definitions we have already completed. Then political theory and its implementations we have completed. Characteristics of the political theory we have completed. Then uh, come to the concept nature of the political theory. We have not discussed about the nature of the political theory. So what is the nature? When we discussed about that nature, it is the behavior, it is the sketch, it is the picture through which we can realize the theory. So political theory is said to be a political thought, and that is why there are some who describe political theory as denoting to the works of numerous thinking, but it is not what political thought is. Many times we may think that many writers are saying many things about the politics. All the concept, all the ideology, all the attitude, all the analysis forwarded by various political thinkers, all are not theory, but it is not the complete meaning of the theory. There are others who equate political theory with political philosophy. Some of the political thinkers, they wanted to make a relationship between theory, political theory, and the philosophy. It is true that political theory constitutes a part of the political philosophy, but it is only a part. A part can never be a whole, and as a part, it remains only a part of the whole. Keep in mind that some political scientists, political theorists, some persons, some intellectual, some teachers, or some researchers may say that political theory has a good relationship with the political philosophy. But it is not only the philosophy. It is not only the philosophy. Philosophy is philosophical side is a part of the political theory. It means political theory pays importance only a part of the philosophy, not the whole philosophy. It is not the whole, it is only the part. There is still others. There are still others who, after incorporating science in politics, prefers to call it political science. Many other political thinkers, theories, they believe that political science is a science. Like the ancient group of the political thinkers, they thought that political science is a political theory or political science is a philosophy. But the modern group of the political scientists, political thinkers, they thought that political science is a science. So they use the word political science. Theory is related to the science. But those who insist on a science of politics refuse to admit if there ever had been a history of politics or culture of the politics. Those who accepted, those who believe that political science is science, they neglect, they pay less importance on the culture and the history. But keep in mind, it is not possible to generalize the political theory without history, without culture. So political science is not also a complete science. Political science is not a complete philosophy. Political science is not also a complete science. Political theory is not all history too. Though I have already said that political theories, when we generalize the theory, then we pay importance on history and the culture. But keep in mind, political theory is not all history, but it is history in a limited sense. Again, like the political science is a part of the philosophy, political science is a part of the history, and political science is a part of the science. So political theory is philosophy, political theory is science, political theory is the history, but all this about a part, not the whole. But it is the history in the limited sense. It is not all philosophy, but it is philosophy. In some degree, it is not all science, but it is science insofar as it responds to the reasons. Political theories has to be the part of historian, philosophy, and scientists. So what we can say that political theory is the combination of history, philosophy, and region or scientific temperament. So, if we see the nature of the political theory, we can study the political theory as a part of history, as a part of philosophy, and as a part of the science. Now, keep it in your mind. When we see the nature of a thing, nature of a subject, then we must keep it in our mind about the scope, about the subject matter, about the issues which are dealt with by that subject. Then if we see the subject matters of the political theory, then we can say that the political science is the basic subject matter of the political theory. And if we see the subject matter of the political science, we will able to see it is dynamic from it is changeable from time to time. It is reformative one. It is developing one. It is based on evolutions. As a result, the nature of the political theory also changeable. The nature of the political theory, we can say it is dynamic. It is going on. It is going forward. It is going forward, and it, it has maintained a good relationship with time and situation. So when we discussed about the nature of the political theory, then we have to discuss political theory as a history, political science, political theory as a philosophy, and political theory as a science. So these three concepts keep it in your mind when we discussed about the nature of the political theory. So come to the concept political theory as a history. Why we may take into account that political theory has a good relationship with history. How we can make a correlationship between politics and history. That political theory is history has been empathetically advocated by the scholars like George Sabine. But all history is not political theory, just as all political theory is not history. George Sabine, he paid importance that we can study the political theory by analyzing, by describing, by realizing, by advocating the history. But not all history is political theory. All history, all history is not political theory. As the same like, we cannot say that all political theory is history. We can't say all political theory is history. So it means history is not all history is not political theory, and all political theory is not history. Secondly, political theory without history is a structure without a base. If we study the political theory, then if we want to know the nature of the political theory in terms of the history, then we should keep in mind political theory without history is a structure without a base. What is the structure? A structure is the building. What is the base? Base is the foundations. It means that if we try to study the political theory without history, then it is all about the superstructure, not about the infrastructure or the basis. And without basis, we may not think about a strong structure. So to know the political theory, a minimum part or a limited part of the history we must have to know. Next concept is that political theory is as history defines what has lost its values. Political theory as history defines what has lost its value. Seeley stated that without history, political science is rootless, and without politics, history is fruitless. If we discuss how political science, political theory, or political science we can study, that If we take the history as the backbone of politics, then it will become the root of the politics. It will be the root of the political theory. And if we study the history in terms of politics, then we will get the fruits. It means when a tree, when a plant gives its fruits, it becomes successful. So when politics is based on history, then we get the success of it. So this is the how we can say that political theory as a history. Professor S.P. Barma, we have know the name Professor S.P. Barma very well because he is famous for his book Modern Political Theory, which was published in 1987. Professor Barma writes, even though it is the outcome of a peculiar set of historical circumstances, has a significance for all times to come. Even though it is the outcome of a peculiar set of historical circumstances, has a significance for all times to come. So, though we may think that history is the past, it has nothing to do with the future, but some circumstances, some situations, some atmosphere, some environment, some issue of the history has a great significance in the future. So we can't neglect those circumstances, so those issues, those situations for study of the political theory or to generalize a political theory. It is exactly this universal character of political theory which makes it respectable. It means that if we pay importance on the history, then political theory will get a high standard. It will be a level of high standard and what can be respected. So political theory is history in the sense that it seeks to understand the time, the place, and the circumstances. So, to analyze the political scenario of a state, of a society, or of the world, we must have to pay importance on the time, place, and circumstances. Next, if political theory ignores the historical context, it loses its strength, its focus, and its methods or message. It loses methods. Sorry. If political theory ignores its historical context, it loses its strength, its focus, and its message. So, what is this? That political theory, it is not different. It cannot be isolated, it cannot be detached from the history totally. If we ignore the historical concept, then the political theory will lose its capability, its strength, its value, its importance, its focus, its objectives, and its message. What is the message? Message is the informations, the knowledge, the what it try to give the society. Then come to the next concept, political theory as a philosophy. Political theory as a history we have discussed. Now we want to discuss about the political theory as a philosophy. That political theory is a philosophy has been very well enunciated by the scholars like Leo Strauss, Strauss, Leo Strauss. And his famous book, the name of the famous book which is published by him in 1967, the name of the book was What is Political Philosophy? What is, sorry, it is an article. Sorry, I want to say you that it is the article. He published an article known as What is Political Philosophy, published in 1967 in the Journal of Politics. In the Journal of Politics. But keep it in your mind. All philosophy is not political theory, as well as all political theory is not philosophy. I have already said that all history are not political theory, all political theory are not history. Like that, all political theory are not philosophy, and all philosophy is not the political theory. Philosophy is not the political theory, as well as political theory is not the philosophy. So philosophy, what is the philosophy? How we can No, what is philosophy? Philosophy is an ideology. Philosophy is an realizations. Philosophy is an analysis on the basis of abstract study or abstract importance. What we think from our mind, from our brain, and how we analyze it, how we will explain it, how we will describe it on the basis of that we can realize what is philosophy. So according to the book, philosophy as an abstract study. What is philosophy? Philosophy as an abstract study, what we can catch easily, encompassing the whole universe, in general, and moral norms, values in particular, is the sum total of the general laws governing the whole world. Philosophy is related to the world. Philosophy is related to the superpowers, we can say the superficial attitude of the nature. When we can realize the nature in a common sense, on the basis of the moral, on the basis of the value, on the basis of the norms, eh? And it is the general law. What is the natural law? Natural law. If we can realize the natural law, why the world has created, why peoples have been created, what is the duty of the peoples, what is the duty of the nature, how we should live in this society, and where we should go. This is the philosophy. So on the basis of this ideology, how we can make a relationship with political theory. Keep in mind, without assumptions, we can go forward. So assumptions, inference. The basis of the philosophy is it is the inference. When inference are becoming valid, then it may lead to a future step. It may lead to our successive steps. Without philosophy, no political theory can ever hope to exist. It means if we can't inference anything, if we are out of philosophy, then we may not think about the political theory. No man without philosophy can create the political theory. Without an eye on future, no peasant can be afford. Why? If we don't want to see the future, we can't realize the present. And if we can realize the present, then we can create anything new. We can't create anything new for the future. So the political theory, it is the creation for the future, So if we think about the future, then we must be philosophical in nature. Without an eye on future, no person can ever afford to say, as no present stands without its past. Again, the philosophy not only related to present and future, but also it keeps its eye to the past, present, and future. Everything we can realize, we can assume, we can uh, analyze, we can observe on the basis of our philosophy. Political theory is a philosophy, for it not only seeks to know the nature of the things, but also attempts to explain as why things really exist. Why political theory is a philosophy? It is it is a philosophy because political theory tries to establish an ideal state or a peaceful, secured society. And for that peaceful and secured society, we must make an attempt why things really exist, why we are thinking like this. So without philosophical basis, we can go to the political theory. One understand one action or a thought only by evaluating it. Evaluation is a part of understanding. When we want to create a theory, we must understand it, we must have to evaluate it. And for evaluations, it should be understood by the persons. It should be understood by the persons who try to create a theory, who try to generalize a concept. So from that perspective, we can say that political theory has a relationship with the philosophy. Political theory as philosophy is the attempt truly to know both the nature of the political things, the right or the good or the political order. Strauss said that political theory as a philosophy it deals with to know the nature of the political things in a real sense, in a true sense, or what is right, or what is good, or what is the political order. How we can see the political order, how we can see the political things, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is good or bad, whether it should be acceptable or not. It is the philosophy that controls the ideology of the human being to generalize something. Political theory as philosophy is an attempt to replace opinion and assumption about the nature of the political things by knowledge of the nature of the political things. So, if we change something, all various type of opinions and assumptions already available in our society, if we want to change it, if we want to reform it, if we want to amend it, then it is the philosophy who can play an important role. And in case of political issues, if we want to change any political ideology, political aims, objectives, goal, structure, infrastructure, we must have a philosophy through which we can replace it, we can amend it, we can change it in a proper way. For proper replacing of the opinion and assumption, philosophy is essential. It is in this sense that values and facts form an integral part of the political theory. So, when we think about the political theory, there are two bases of the political theory. One is value, another is the fact. In political theory, without value and without fact, we can realize the reality. So this is the value is basically a philosophical term. Value is basically a philosophical term, and we can generalize any theory without or by total neglecting the value concept. Some political thinkers they think that political theory should be value free, but without value political theory becomes a child who is in a crossroad, who doesn't know where to go and how to go. So without philosophy, we will be aimless. So philosophy plays an important role in creating of the political theory. This is the nature of the political theory. Then come to the political theory as science. Political theory as science. Many political theorists or most of the political thinkers they are trying to create politics as a science. Political theory is the basic aim of the political theory is to make political science is a real science. The political theory is a science has been forcefully emphasized by the scholars from Arthur Bentley to the George Catlin, Laswell, David Aston, Robert Dahl. If we say the political theory as a science, they are trying, who are the most prominent thinkers who are trying to create the political science or political theory as a science, they are the Arthur Bentley, George Catlin, Laswell, Robert Dahl, and David Aston. Among of them, the book which were published in terms of this ideology, we should keep in mind the name of the book written by Arthur Bentley was The Process of the Government, published in 1908. The name of the book published by George Catlin, it was the Science and the Method of Politics in 1927. And another one, the most famous writers, most modern political, one of the great modern political thinkers, it was David Aston. And name of the book published by David Aston was The Political System, published in 1953. And Robert Dahl, DAHL, okay, so I am saying the Dahl, it is Dahl, Robert Dahl বুলি ক'ব পাৰা, Robert Dahl বুলি ক'ব পাৰা. So modern political analysis, name of the book of the Robert Dahl is Modern Political Analysis, published in 1963. But keep it your minds, though these political scientists, political theorists, political writers, political thinkers, try to make political theory as a science or convert the political theory in a scientific way. But all science is not political theory, as just as all political theory is not science, and we can't say that all political theories are the science and all science are the political theory. Keep in mind, political theory tries to become science. It tries to become science, but it is not able to becoming science till today. It is not completely science till today. So come to the another part. Why we are saying that political theory has a relationship with the science. Political theory is not pure science because there are no universally recognized principles, no clear cause effect relationship, no laboratories, and no predictions are made in political theory the way these are found in natural and exact sciences. So political theory is not pure science. We can't say political theory is proper science. Why? Because there is no universally recognized principles as we have find in the science. 2 plus 2 equal to 4. We never get a theory which can give the complete solutions, universal solutions, or well accepted solutions in political theory like this. No clear cause relationship. Why some movement have been occurred? So what are the real relations, real cause? It is not easy to analyze. Many political scientists, many social scientists may give many reasons. So to create clear cause effect relationship is not possible in political science. Another one is science is based on the testing, and that test is done in their own laboratory. But in political theory we can't see any laboratory where we can test the political issues, political problems. So we can't say that political science is a pure science. Yet if we think political theory, it is a science insofar as it admits concepts and norms which are both observable and testable, and so far as it responds to the requirement of the reason and rationalism. Though we said that political science is not the science, real science, or political theory is not the real theory, real science. But keep in mind, when we see the concepts created by the political theories on the basis of norms, on the basis of observation, on the basis of the testification, test, on the basis of reason, on the basis of evaluations, we can say if it is well accepted, then it is in favor of a science. This concept of science, or to make the political theory as a science, behavioralists work a lot for this. The American social science researchers in general and the behavioralists in particular sought to create a science of politics, and in the process indulged in what may be called reductionism. So to make political theory as a science, the lot of the works done by the American social scientists or social science researchers and the behavioralists, but still demand that political science is becoming science. Political theory is a science insofar as it can, and in fact, it applied to a social gathering, and the definite rules of the extract sciences are applicable within the limitations as in any social science. It is a science in its methodology, in its approach, and its analysis. How political theory is a science on the basis of its methodology, what type of methods we are using. If it is the proper methods, then the theory will be scientific. If it is on the basis of proper approach, then the theory will be scientific. If it able to make the proper analysis, then it will become scientific. So to become the political theory as a science, it should be sound in methodology, it should be proper in approach, and it should be systematic and evaluative in analysis. It is a science so far as to conclusions are drawn after study, observation, experiments. Keep in mind, the political theory may become science if its conclusions are made, if its conclusions are drawn, its conclusions are created on the basis of study, on the basis of observation, and on the basis of experiments. Then we can say the political theory may become science. Political theory admits objectivity in association with the subjectivity. Political theory admits objectivity in association with the subjectivity. What is objectivity? It is related to the, it is the aim, it is the goal. What is subjectivity? It is related to the persons, individual ideology, individual concepts, not individual concept. If political theory will become the science, then it must be objective. It should not be subjective. It should be based on fact rather than the value. It should be based on the research with theory, not on the basis of assumptions. So political theory as science generates neutral, dispassionate, and objective knowledge. So political theory as science generates neutral, dispassionate, and objective knowledge, as it is advocated by the political scientists like Colin Hay, Colinhay, Colin Hay, in his book Political Analysis, published in 2002. So, social structure, unlike the natural structure, do not exist independently in the activities they govern. Political theory is a social theory. Political science is a social science. So, what we will discuss, everything should be on the basis of the social norm, social attitude, social ideology, or social institutions. When we think to discuss about any social structure, we should keep in mind that social structure, unlike natural structure, the natural structure is fixed, but social structure is not fixed, do not exist independently in the activities they govern. In the process of their control and conduct, social structure is not fixed, it is not independent. It is interdependent. We can say it is interdependent or changing. Social structures, unlike the natural structure, do not exist independently of the agent conception of what they are doing in their activity. And thirdly, social structure, unlike natural structure, may be relatively enduring. R. Bhaskar, the writers who advocated this is the R. Bhaskar in his book The Limits of Naturalism, 1979. He advocated the above 3 points. Then come to the next one. So, on the basis of this nature of the political science, we have come to know that the political theory or the political science, the political theory is the basis of the political science. The political theory can be discussed, can be evaluated, can be explained, can be described, can be analyzed on the basis of philosophy, on the basis of history, and on the basis of science. So, this is the nature of the political theory. So, come to the next one. What is the next one? It is the political theory, growth and evaluations. Political theory, growth and evaluations. How the theory, political theory develop. Growth and evaluation means traditional period development, medieval period development, modern period development, and contemporary period development. What were the political theory of the past? What are the political theory of the present? If we can discuss about its development, that is the growth and evolutions of the political theory. George Sabine says it is nothing about politics or relevant to politics. This being the broader meaning, he refers to its narrower meaning, saying that it is the disciplined investigation of the political problems. That is political theory, whom we are going to discuss. If we try to discuss the growth and evolution of the political theory, we must go back the meaning of the political theory. So, political theory is anything about, it is anything about politics or relevant of the politics. Political theory related to anything about politics or relevant of the politics. It is the broader meaning. In narrow meaning, we can say that political theory is the disciplined investigation of political problems, systematic analysis, systematic observation, systematic description, the systematic evaluation of political problems is a theory, as it is mentioned by George Sabine in his book A History of Political Theory, 1973. What David Hale defines political theory, he said that political theory as a network of concepts and generalizations about political life, involving ideas, assumptions, and statements about the nature, purpose, and key features of the government, state, and society, and about the political capabilities of human beings. So, David Hale in his book Political Theory Today, 1991, he said that political theory as a network of concept, how we can make a relationship of the political issues, political ideas, political assumptions, political statements, man to man, or all over the society, how we will able to fulfill the purpose. What is the purpose? The purpose related to the politics, related to any topic of the politics, related to the issue of the government, related to the issue of the state, and related to the issue of the society. And also about the political capabilities of the human being and human beings' political nature. Human beings' political nature. All these things, when we will able to analyze, assume, interpret, then we will get a political theory. Then what is the main issue? What I am going to talk now? It is the evolution of the political theory. The evolution of the political theory depends upon time and situations. It means the time and situations leads the political theory in its development. As the nature of the political theory is dynamic, changeable in accordance with the time and situation, so evolution of the theory is also changeable one. But in the core issue is same in all times. That is what the core issue of the political theory is the same, but the nature may be different. So what is the core issue? Evaluation of political phenomena and generalization of the concept related to any political observation. So core issue is the evaluation of political phenomena. Any political phenomena, when we will take it evaluations, it may help us to make a political theory. And if we try to generalize the concept, what is coming out from that observation. So this is the meaning of the political theory, and on the basis of this meaning, on the basis of this meaning, we will go into the periods of development or the evolutions or evolutionary nature of the political theory. Where political theory emerged? If we ask this question, then we will get the answer that most of the political theory are the result of the West culture, West analysis, Western analysis. West, what is the West? European concept. We may say it is very easily, it's the European concept or world, the west side of the world. It is derived from the West. All the scientific analysis on the modern education, most of the modern education is the product of the West. As a result, the theoretical development of the political science also emerged in West. Political theory has in West passed through different stages. We can say that political theory, what we are reading nowadays, it is the result of the West and it has passed through different stages. But along with this, I want to say you, there were many political theories created by Eastern scholars also. But those Eastern scholars' contributions have not reflected in the whole world. As a result, the Eastern concept we have not found to study in a peculiar way or in a common way or in a general way. These are included in the book, in the study only in the Eastern field, not in the Western field. So the development of the political theory, we must keep our eye to the West, not to the East. Ancient period, if we divide the growth of the political theory on the basis of a period, then we can divide it in four parts. What are those four parts? Ancient period development, medieval period development, modern period development 1, or modern period development 2. I mean, we can discuss on the basis of this four steps. What type of development has taken place in ancient period? In the ancient period, it was developed basically in Greece. The ancient Greek and the medieval period, political theory would concern itself with identifying the ethical goals of the state. So, what was the basic issue of political theory in ancient period? It was the ethical goals of the state, identifying the ethical goals of the state. What state should be? What is a good life? Or like that, or we can say it was based on the concept of morality and ethics. The objectives which state should cherish to achieve, what state should opt to get. Both Plato and Aristotle would insist on the functions of the state to establish justice or to give the individual a good life. So providing a good life, to become a good individual, to establish the justice in the society, in the state, was the basic aim and goal of the political theory in the ancient period. In the medieval period, the medieval political theory associated as it was with religion. We know religion is the belief, religion is the faith, religion is the value of us. And these political theories, a group of political theories in medieval period, they try to analyze the political theory in comparison with religion or by keeping a good relationship with religions. So this was religious concept. Demanded on the state to prepare and train the individual to seek the place with the God. So they believe that what the king will do, what the state will do, what the government will do, it should be for the pleasure of the God or for the God. In here, we can take the name of two famous scholars, Augustine and Aquinas. I think you heard the name of these two scholars. Then come to the modern period. The early modern age, political theory sought to discuss theories of the origin of the state, followed by the philosophers with whom the organization and the functions of the state were the major concerns of state. So, in modern period, the concept has somewhat changed. They wanted to think regionally, rationally, and trying to go back to systematic study about the state, about the political organizations, about the functions of the state or the major concerns of the state. This is the modern period development. Now, modern period two, the mid 20th century political theory deal largely with the institution of the state, making the concept of power to the basic theme of the state. So first modern period paid more importance on origin of the state, structure of the state, functions of the state. Second part paid importance on the core issue of the politics of what we can understand nowadays, that is the power concept. So power concept was taken into account by the modern political thinkers in the mid of 20th century. This is the ancient period, medieval period, and modern period concept. But if we discuss about the evolution, then we should keep in mind that in every period of the development, political theory can be categorized in three categories. What are those three categories? Most of the political theories we can categorize on the basis of the development period in three categories I have already said. One is classical political theory, second is modern political theory, and third is contemporary political theory. All the theories developed during the past time, we can categorize under these three both concepts: classical political theory, modern political theory, and contemporary political theory. So before I am going to this theory, I think we should discuss, we should interact with each other. If anything you want to know from me, or if anything you want to get clarifications. You want to get clarification. So I think the next class, classical political theory, modern political theory, and contemporary political theory, we'll discuss uh, later. In the next class, we'll discuss about it. Till here, I want questions from you. I want observations from you. What you have already learned or what you want to know more about the previous teaching or previous discussions. Okay? Okay, students. Horace, are you hearing me? Okay, it is the era of technology. I think some problems may be occurred. So we will start the next class with discussions with our students. So for today, I am going to stop this class in here.